A bit crude, but here we go. What we have here is a mix of 223 and 556 brass. That's been prepped. Those 5 are ready to load. I had 6 and trashed one. Whoops, but that happens. 223 bullet cast, powder coated. You can see a couple imperfections in there, but I think it'll work once it goes down a 16-inch barrel. Here's what's going on. Here in the back, this is your full-length sizing die, and that's there because there are any number of rifles this could be fired in. That's Station 1. It's a Hornady Lock and Load AP. There's a case feeder up here, which we are not going to use for this video, but it could be made to work easily with this. The primer feed, we're not going to use that because we're not putting any propellants in them. We're just prepping the cases. So, as you see, no case feeder here. This is a different powder measure. It's used for single stage. It can sit. Station 1 has your full-length sizing die. I have a neck sizing die down there, but I probably won't use it. Station 2 is hiding back here, and it's empty. This is normally where your powder is going to sit. I will work out what sits there when I get to the actual loading phase. For now, these cases are going to be prepped on progressive and loaded on single stage. Station 3 is where my thumb is. This is where the powder cop is probably going to sit. It's where a RCBS lockout sits for pistol reloading. Use that very religiously, and I will probably use a powder cop since the lockout won't necessarily work. It might with 223. Here we have a typical Black & Decker electric screwdriver, fresh out of the package. Has not been charged yet, but it has a little juice in the battery. And on this we have the Lee Power Quick Trim, I think that's called. It just has a 1/4-inch connection to it. It sits on the screwdriver. See, 1/4-inch connection. Took me a minute to figure out how to set that up, and I finally got it going. This die is not set according to Lee's directions. It's set up a little bit higher than normal, and that is because over here on Station 1 we have to set this one a little bit different for the Hornady shell holder. The Lee shell holder would be flat on a what do you call it? Loadmaster. So this is a little bit different, and it requires a little bit of tweaking on the dies. Last station here is a flaring die. I was using this, believe it or not, for 22 LR. It will probably get used for 223, and you'll probably see me buy separate ones of these for 22 LR, 22 short, and 22 Magnum, all of which I have guns chambered in. But that's down the road. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this down. I'm going to pull about 5 more cases out of here and get started. Let me set this up on top. Excuse me if you see me without a shirt on. That's just how I roll when I'm comfy. And if you're seeing that and you're on YouTube, I'm taken. So I'm not trying to advertise my 1-pack. Probably I have a 6-pack of hot dogs. So there's one, and I have no idea if these are 223 or 556. I do make the difference. The reason why I make the difference is because if there's ever a reason that I might load 556 to higher pressures for one of those rifles, then I want the cases to be marked. It's probably just strictly semantics. I use the Lyman AR book sitting right here, and I load to the pressures or to the charge weights that are listed in that. But if there's ever any doubt, it's good to be able to flip the case over and say, oh, this is definitely loaded to where I can put it in my old Mini 14. That one there needs to be loaded into something a little bit more modern. 5 cases. 6 cases. But for all intents and purposes, anything that I've got here on this table will shoot in the Panther just fine, or it'll shoot in the Bushmaster. It may not shoot in Mini 14 just fine. That's going to be stuff strictly marked 223. These are once fired range brass, I believe. Picked up a whole bunch from a shooting class recently, and I think I wound up giving the 223 away out of that and loading the 556. Not a bad deal if you ask me. This is trash. So let me get this down here a little bit, and I will show you with the best I can with one hand what's going on. Load a case here because we're not using the case feeder. Bring this up. The case is now in station 1. I'm going to get it out of there before it sticks. Pull it down. You'll always see me run this press and push that handle back. It's just habit. If you ever watch me load pistol rounds, you'll see why. Okay, now case 2 is in there. Case number 1 is going to an empty spot. Case 2 is deprimed and sized. We'll have a look real quick at our deprimer. It's still locked in place. Case number 3, again 1 and 2 are going into empty spots, so we push up, the deprimer is still in place. We go back down as if we're seating a primer. Now comes the fun bit. Here's case number 4. I don't remember how many I did. Probably there's 8 of them laying on the table. But one of them may be a piece of laser ammo. We don't want to deprime that. So now we go down. I am going to take it and hold the handle with my leg. I normally would not do this. Do not do this to your progressive press. This is just for video purposes only. I have one hand on the phone, one hand on my cordless drill. You take this, push it down, and hit the switch. It is spinning clockwise as viewed from the battery. So that would be like you're driving a screw in. I left it go a little bit longer than what you need to, but it won't hurt anything. Unlock the press handle. Come back up. Again, push back as though we're seating a primer. We'll stick a case in. Now let's get real close and let's look at that one. Hard to see there, but there it is. And you see the one that's about to go into the trimmer, the one that's about to come out of the trimmer, or that just came out. I'm sorry, it just came out. See the difference? I have been using a Hornady quick trim something or other. Very effective for single stage, versatile, also very slow. Now we're going to pull this handle down again. Very first case just got the neck sized. Or got the neck flared. The flare is very light because I don't want to crack the neck. I just wanted enough to put a bullet in there, and those bullets have shrunk a little bit, I think. Or maybe the cases are a little bit big. Could be in that the sizing bullet that's in this die. For some reason the bullets fit it. They don't drop through it, but they fit in perfect without flaring the neck too much. Again, lock the press handle down. And you see up here where this is in the forward position. Push this down, squeeze. 4 seconds ought to do it. Pull it down, and we're going to lose that case right there, so I will try to, well, it just fell in the drawer. Okay, well, that's it. That's why I prepared extra. Pardon me for a second while I get up and fix that problem. We have acro bends, bunches of them. When I get to loading 9mm, I like to keep on going. So what we're going to do, we're going to find that case after a minute. It won't be on the video. Case number 6. Again, we pull this down. Normally I would hold the press handle with my hand to push this down. That's about 4 seconds. Let it back up. Unlock the press handle. And then we come down. That case goes into the acro bin. You see that little push on there? Just that habit from priming them. Okay, we go down. Back down here to the press handle. Lock it with my delicate special foot. Squeeze and push. Release. Now these cases have a tendency to spin in here is what I'm told. I have not seen that happen yet. And I'm brand new to the Lee Power Quick Trim thingy-majigger. Okay, now, we don't have any more cases to go in. So station 1 is empty. Down. lock the handle, push and turn. Good to go there. And you can kind of see how a rhythm develops without having to put cases in. It develops even faster. And that's where that case feeder comes into play. I probably will not have a bullet feeder for this, so that'll kind of slow things down. But come on, we're reloading for a rifle here. In my opinion, rifle reloading is more precise. It really have to pay attention to what you're doing, I think. You have to pay attention when you're reloading for a handgun as well, but there's more stuff that can go wrong on these guys, just in my humble opinion. Anyway, we have 6 cases in there. I must have lost one. But yeah, 6 cases. You see they're deprimed. Kind of get back in the light right there. That is 223. And this one, see, I got something going on here with the edge, so we're going to chuck that one. That's obviously not going to be any good. But I'm not sure, maybe it slipped out on the sizing die. I couldn't tell you on this. Yeah, they definitely, some of them got a lighter trim than others, but, you know, considering my unorthodox methods now. So we're going to take this guy here. I think the battery has died in this. So we'll zero it out. Yeah, it's acting a little bit weird here. It'll show us what we need to know for now, though. And we're going to take this. I'm just going to run it out to about 170. That's about 175. I apologize that it glitched out on me. I will change the battery in that and get that going. So these cases, since we did that, you see how the case fits in there? That's not a precise enough measurement for me, guys. This is just kind of a proof of concept video. Do not ever load a case up that comes up with a measurement. This should not be this number. If you get something like that, don't load the case. Please make sure it's right. That case is pretty close. There's another one that's, and they'd probably be spot on. If I could actually measure them with this, they would probably be dead accurate. See, that one slid right on in. There's 5 cases. I threw one in the trash and I lost one down there in the abyss. Last check, and then last check, and then you get back to reloading some ammo. Here's the bullet. Right here. Yeah, there's that guy right there. And we set him in there. Look at that. Sits right on the top. Ready to be pressed in there once we get some propellant in that thing. There's the next one. And I prepped those earlier. I think I told you that. Anyway, just a proof of concept video. Again, make absolutely sure that your measurements are right, that they are on par with whatever your load data is. You come up with that I just did, remeasure it, double check it, triple check it, whatever. Because that's somebody's, you know, somebody's got a little miniature explosion going off right by their face when they pull the trigger, and you want to make sure that it's accurate. Where it hits on the target is one thing. You want to make sure you want to make sure that your dimensions here are spot on. Last thing, this is what I was trimming with. Again, I'm not knocking on it. This is a great tool here for if you just want to pick up a new caliber. It's like 120 bucks for this guy. Something like that. I'll try not to make you drunk with a video. It was either 80 or 120 for it, and then the other guy sits here. I think between the two of them, a grand total is about 200 bucks. What these do is allow you to pick up a new caliber and go ahead and start reloading it without having to buy all the little fiddly stuff that goes into this. I think this is going to wind up costing me a couple of $300 just to get 223 and 556 on this press. That one $200 that I spent on the Hornady gear will reload any caliber that I care to, as long as I buy probably 25 bucks worth of adapters for it. That's it. My rambling is done.